Hello and welcome to 70 Years, 70 Muppets, a Muppet fan podcast presented by toughpigs.com. This is the podcast where we celebrate the Muppets' 70th anniversary with 70 straight weeks of spotlights on our favorite Muppet characters, from the most popular to the most obscure. I'm this week's host, Becca Petunia, and the Muppet of the Week this week is the Beautiful Day Monster, performed originally by Jim Henson and then by a bunch of other folks, making his debut 59 years ago in 1966. Maybe the name The Beautiful Day Monster means nothing to you. This guy isn't exactly Miss Piggy in terms of how recognizable he is. But you've definitely seen him. He's a tall, shaggy blue monster with a prominent eyebrow and a light blue, kind of duck-like snout. Sometimes he had teeth. He sometimes menaced Gonzo, and he sometimes menaced Paul Williams. You know, like you do. Do you remember this sketch?
Hello.
I want to go to Pittsburgh.
I can send you to Pittsburgh first class on a supersonic jet for $764.
You got anything cheaper?
It's interesting that Kermit was last week's Muppet, and this week's is the Beautiful Day Monster. Sure, they're polar opposites in terms of fame, but they're two of the oldest Muppets we've seen so far. Of the crew we've talked about, only Kermit, Rolf, and the Beautiful Day Monster debuted in the 1960s. Kermit and the Beautiful Day Monster were also occasionally paired together on Sesame Street. The Muppet Vegetables are the only other characters we've seen so far who were Sesame Street regulars. In fact, honestly, I'd argue the Beautiful Day Monster is more of a Sesame Street character than a Muppet Show character, because his appearances on the Muppet Show were pretty scarce. But they did rebuild him in 2011 for the Disney Muppets movie, and that was nice. I'd also argue that despite his scattered appearances, no one has more to say about the socio-political underpinnings of the business structure of the Muppet Theater than the Beautiful Day Monster. And man, I wish I had a guest to talk about this concept with, but no one wanted to be on this episode with me.
Whoo, everyone's out after the Kermit episode. Time to raid the Tough Big Staff fridge.
Oh, Matthew Soberman, is that you?
Yes. Hi, Becca.
Matthew,
I heard you were recording.
yeah, I'm recording about everyone's favorite Muppet, the Beautiful Day Monster. Remember him? Remember Paul Williams?
Yeah. I remember. I remember some of those things.
Matthew, could I?
Oh, you want me to talk about Beautiful Monster?
Yeah.
Well,
would you do it? Would you do it like as a favor to me?
As a favor, well, I mean, favors, kind of a loaded word. I tell you what, I could talk about the socio-political metaphor present in the existence of the Beautiful Day Monster for $500.
You got anything cheaper?
For $50, I could sing you a song that gives a complete list of the Beautiful Day Monster appearances.
$50. Boy, you could buy a guitar with a mother of pearl inlay for that. You got anything cheaper?
For $5, I could give you a less exhaustive list and kind of hum Mana with replacing Mana with Beautiful Day.
Okay, $5. You got anything cheaper?
For $1, I could stop doing this bit.
You got anything cheaper?
For a picture of Fozzie Bear, I could just talk to you a little about some things I like about Beautiful Day Monster.
Now you're talking my price range.
Very popular choice.
So, Matthew, let's talk real quick about the sketch that we were kind of just riffing on there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't mean we were having a perfectly natural conversation here in the Tough Pigs recording studio, just
Of
like
course.
Kermit Unpigged.
Yeah, absolutely.
George Benson.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess it would be George Benson or Meatloaf and Jimmy Buffett. Both gone.
But
Linda Ronstadt was unavailable.
We were talking a little bit, what we were kind of riffing on was the Got Anything Cheaper sketch from the
Yes.
Paul Williams episode, which is really, I feel like, what people remember the Beautiful Day Monster from. And
Hmm.
it's pretty funny. There's a
Oh yeah.
reason that people remember it.
Oh, absolutely. It's just a great patter song. Paul Williams sells it perfectly, and that punchline. I mean, I don't want to give it away,
Yeah,
in
if you
case
haven't
you're one of
seen
the
it,
few who has not seen the sketch. It is a absolute Muppet Show classic.
if
But
you have, I was gonna say, I mean, Muppets are on Disney Plus. You can watch it. Paul Williams is just so natural with all the Muppets. Even this
mm,
character who he probably has no familiarity with. I mean, it's not really I mean, maybe he does. I don't know how much he watched the Ed Sullivan Show, and we'll get into that in a second. But like, he's just so natural with him. And the other thing I feel like people don't realize is Paul Williams is just so funny, just in
oh yeah,
general.
oh yeah, he's got a great sense of humor. Um, the first thing I can think of is I believe when he went on Johnny Carson to promote one of the Planet of the Apes movies in a full costume. And, Johnny asks what happened to him. And he said, well, this is what happened when you drink too many banana daiquiris.
So,
But yeah, it's just great build up back and forth. I guess heightening would be the correct term in terms of sketch writing.
well, there's heightening, but then, after the punchline, it's kind of
Yeah.
the opposite of heightening, at least, for the Beautiful Day Monster.
Yes, yes, that is true. In the technical term, I suppose it would be lowering as the standards lower and lower.
Oh no, I just mean literally, like he's lower
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's
to the
very true.
ground.
And
But
well, let's just say they find something cheaper.
they sure do. But you know, the thing that's interesting, and I was actually talking to our friend Joe Hennis about this earlier today. The
Never
thing,
heard of them.
oh, that sandwich you're eating?
Oh, that's what that says. I thought it said PB&J.
No, it says PB for Joe.
Oh, right, right. Yeah. Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Joe and I were talking about how weird it is that the Beautiful Day Monster's name is because of a sketch that he's from. And
Yeah.
that's the Happy Girl Meets a Monster sketch
Mm-hmm.
is technically what it's called. At least according to like Jim's Red Book.
Yeah.
But this was a sketch that actually, I was doing some research about this both for this podcast and for another podcast I was recording. The sketch first appeared in 1963 without the Beautiful Day Monster, with Sneagle from a
Mm.
traffic safety commercial.
Yes. That
Um,
famous Muppet.
Sneagle.
Sneagol. I don't even know if he's in the Disney family.
That's a great question. But I don't know. We can't spoil it, but
Maybe there's a
maybe,
Sneagol week.
I was gonna say 15 weeks from now, you guys could be hearing us talk about Sneagle. But I rewatched the Beautiful Day Monster sketch recently, and I shared it with a friend of mine, and it's a really funny sketch. I mean,
Mm.
Matthew, do you wanna describe it a little bit? I'm sure you've seen it a bunch.
Well, basically, yeah, a nice, cute little girl enjoying her day. Monster comes along, determined to ruin it. And instead of reacting angrily or sadly as many of us do, this little girl just tells the monster how wonderfully terrifying he is, and just keeps feeding him compliments, and it confuses him and it shrinks him down, and basically it shrinks him to the point where suddenly this big bad monster is not big and bad. Yeah, it's weird that the two most famous Beautiful Day Monster sketches end with him being severely reduced in size.
That's true. And it is interesting that he sort of meets a similar fate in both of them.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun, and it's so much a kind of like inversion of what you'd expect,
Mm.
where this little girl sort of wins out over this monster, and wins out over this monster by being nice.
Yeah.
It's something that's pretty cute and pretty fun.
It is a
And
sweet sketch.
you get why this sketch was so memorable that it gave him his name, which is also funny when you consider that it wasn't his first appearance technically.
Nope.
He was built for the Wheels, Crowns, and Flutes commercial, right?
Yes. Along
Um,
with another monster that would become very famous with another property.
yeah, so you guys might know this. I mean, we I don't know if we're legally allowed to say this on this podcast, but if you can imagine a monster with like googly eyes, shaggy blue fur, and a big mouth who
I can't imagine that, but ooh, do I see cookies in the pantry?
oh,
Oh, me love cookies.
you do love cookies. You do love cookies, the Matthew Soberman. So
I'm sorry you can't hear me, but I am chowing down on them right now.
yeah, I had to mute it on the studio
Yeah,
mic.
I think we might get in some legal trouble if I.
Yeah, but yeah, so the beautiful day monster is originally from that, and that's not what we call him, right? We don't call him the crown grabber.
No, I'm trying to think of the three monsters. Like two of them went on to have long careers. I don't
The
remember.
other doesn't. I actually
Oh,
talked about it on Hubba, my other podcast once, in the episode um So What If I Don't Like Wilkins Coffee, which
mm,
was the Sam and Friends and
the
Variety
early
Show Day
years.
episode. We talk about it. The other one, the what is it? The flute stealer? It's the crown grabber, the flute snatcher. The
Mm,
flute snatcher kinda looks a little frackly,
mm,
but he basically doesn't go on to do much. He shows up occasionally in season one of Sesame Street.
mm.
He is not at the end of the Muppet movie, but he
Mm.
is at Kermit and Piggy's wedding.
Well, they had to make up for it, so they're like, okay, put him on the guest list.
He is at Kermit and Piggy's wedding, but he does not ever appear on the Muppet Show. Is at one of the tables in a celebration of 30 years,
Mm.
and that was the last we ever saw of the flute snatcher.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the design, it does look similar to some other Muppet monsters we've seen. But yeah, that is weird that two of them went on to relatively, lengthy tenures and one just completely fell off.
And that's I think what leads to, the other two going on to such lengthy tenures, and what I kind of wanted to discuss with you as we sort of come to an end
Mm,
here, but like, you know, the that googly-eyed one with blue shaggy fur and a
mm,
big mouth, I bet that would be a great character, and I
yeah,
bet that character's design was great. But I'm just gonna have to imagine that.
yeah,
Um, the Beautiful Day monster has a really fun design, and you know what's interesting? It's so different from so many of the other Muppet monsters.
yeah. I mean, certainly a more narrow face. Like, yeah, very boxy, which
Yeah,
is it's nice. It kind of sets him apart from the other monsters.
it's interesting, and it certainly does. It's unique, whereas I feel like so many of the monsters just have giant mouths. He kind of
Mm.
has like I said in the beginning, a more beaky mouth. And
Mm.
I personally I miss when he had teeth.
I kind of like him prefer him without the teeth. I think it, gives him a more relatable look. But I certainly understand as far as Muppet monsters go, not a lot of them kept their teeth.
Yeah, I mean, Sweetums has like two teeth, I
Yeah.
guess. But that other one, the googly-eyed monster, also lost his teeth that he had in the Wheels, Crowns, and Flutes commercial.
Yeah, I don't know how
I mean,
that monster would be
hypothetically,
able to eat anything.
yeah. I'm sure if he still exists, he doesn't eat anything anymore.
Yeah, no,
Now,
not at
now.
all.
But Matthew, thanks for doing this. I mean, it didn't go as planned, but I think we said some interesting things about the beautiful day monster.
Yeah, of course. Oh, you know that shaggy blue monster? I think they may have used something like him at the end of the Muppets Take Manhattan. I don't know. It looks familiar. Something saying, "Oh boy, me can hardly wait."
No, that can't be right. Who would say,
No,
"Oh
no,
boy, me can hardly wait"? It's,
no.
"Oh
That's
boy,
terrible
I
grammar.
thought you were a writer, Matthew. Why do
That's
we
what
even
he
hire
says. I
keep
mean,
you
that's in the
around?"
Muppets Take Manhattan. I didn't say that.
Hmm.
Me didn't say that.
We'll have to research this a little more. Matthew, do you wanna maybe we can talk about this over some cookies?
Got anything cheaper?
Would you settle for some wheels, crowns, and flutes?
If you can find them, sure.
Thanks, folks.
Goodbye.
70 Years, 70 Muppets is a Muppet Fan podcast presented by toughpigs.com. Hosted by a whole myriad of people and edited by them as well. Produced by Jared Fairclough. The Muppets 70 logo used with permission by the Muppet Studio with thanks to Danny Iglesias, Frank Reich Snyder and Lee Slaughter. Don't forget to follow toughpigs.com on all social media platforms. You can support us by heading to patreon.com/toughpigs or buying a t-shirt at tpublic.com/toughpigs.